been waiting all day to film this video, and now there is less than 30 minutes until there's a severe thunderstorm warning. So let's speedrun this. So instead of just talking about the characters in my book, I thought it would be cool to do a little character 9 square. I don't know if that's what it's called. It's just what I call it. But I found it on Pinterest, and I had a huge phase where I was making them for like everybody I knew. And because I just think they're fun. So I think I'm going to do them for my characters. So we're going to start off with Radcliffe. This is my boy. So Radcliffe is your pretty typical disaster twink, right? He is the foundation. He is the day one. He is the basic. Unfortunate, right? So his animal, I put him as a white ferret because he likes ferrets. But he's also like, you keep him around, he's a lot of work. But he's so cute, you just got to keep him around, right? You love him anyway. But he's a lot of work, and he's getting up into business and causing mischief and up to no good. But again, he's cute and he gets away with it. So that's just the way it is. For place, I did put LA. He is a very LA baddie. Even though he grew up in Silicon Valley, which is closer to San Francisco, I feel like he has more of an LA vibe because he is canonically an influencer. So I think he has the LA vibe of self-importance. Plant is going to be Roses, because he is a little flirt. He's got the riz a little bit. Not really. He just kind of looks at you like, and that's what he thinks is riz, and it works usually. Then for hobby, drag and drinking. Added a little 2-for-1. Yeah, so he does drag. Which is sort of what he does on the influencer sphere, but it's mostly like, he's sort of like, you know, the girl in I Love LA, I can't remember her name, but she's played by Odessa. She's like an influencer, but it's like unclear what exactly she does. That's just sort of his vibe. Like, he just sort of has a following, and he doesn't really do anything in particular. Like, he's not like a food guy. He's not like this or that. He just sort of posts and people follow him. Then food is going to be macarons because he is a little French. His mom is French. And also like shapes and colors, like a little pastel sweet treat. That's just him. For the crystal, I mostly just put their birthstones. So for Radcliffe, he was born in October, so it's tourmaline. Hopefully I'm saying that right. But I chose the pinkety one because it represents love and stuff. And again, he's a little flirt and he likes pink. So, slay. Then for season, I did summer. But he's like a boardwalk, beach, summer vibe. Like, he's not really like necessarily the beach, but like beach adjacent. Like, he's going to be by the water, not in the water, right? And then for character, you know I had to put Tamaki. Rich gay boy. Rich blonde gay boy. That's it. And that's Radcliffe, basically. Rich gay boy. So next we have Tommy. Now Tommy is Radcliffe's boyfriend. And I'm just going to go ahead and skip the character. Kyoya. If you watched Ouran High School's Club and you wanted Tamaki and Kyoya to kiss, boy do I have a novel for you. Literally their entire dynamic is them. Did I cop that? Yes. But nothing is original anyway. Doesn't matter. Then for animal, I did a heron. Because, you know, very traditional Japanese. It's used a lot in their art and stuff. So I thought, like, that was real. But also just, like, very regal, very elegant, very tall. For place, Kyoto, he was born and raised there. Well, more born, not necessarily raised. He moved to Silicon Valley where he met Radcliffe when he was pretty young. But, you know, he has childhood memories there and he does want to go back eventually. Then for plant, I did a cactus because it's really easy to take care of. Like, you just kind of water it and just kind of let it be. And he's just like that. You just kind of check in, make sure he's alive, and it's all good. But if you start meddling around, you're going to get, like, poked. Like, he He don't play. He don't play. He doesn't want you in his business. He wants to keep to himself. And then his hobby is calligraphy. You know, he does like the traditional like Japanese calligraphy as well with like, you know, ink and a brush. But he does practice his kanji a lot because he doesn't use it as much in America. So he likes to keep that shit on lock. And when he writes to his parents, he writes in Japanese. So he's got to keep that shit up. And for food is pufferfish. You have to be very meticulous when you prepare it. And it's also very elevated high dining in Japan. But also, again, the like parallel of him, because he's also, you have to be very meticulous and precise when dealing with him, because anything could piss him off and he could be like, all right, I don't want to talk to you anymore. And it's not necessarily like he's gonna like get you, he just won't respond to pretend you're not there. And then again, for crystal, I just did birthstone, but I chose lapis lazuli. My Minecraft fans, shout out Minecraft. No, but just yeah, I think just works with him the best. And then for season, I did winter. He's a very cold individual, so winter works for him. And I think winter is usually the slowest. I mean, other than like Christmas and stuff. But I feel like with winter, nobody really wants to go out and do stuff. So it's good for him because he doesn't want to go out and do stuff anyway. And then for color, I did this nice little blue because he just has like a calm blue vibe. Okay, Bruckman. Bruckman is an all-American boy. All right, Bruckman's an all-American boy. For animal, I went panther. I was gonna go black cat, but he's not that nice and approachable as a black cat. So I did a panther. I didn't want to do like, I feel like every animal that's like standoffish has been claimed by like the alpha bullshit, because he's not that. He is very punk. He's very straight white man, right? Very basic straight white man. But he is very punk, very down with the government, like live and let live, like everybody deserves rights. Like he's punk as fuck. But he's not necessarily approachable. So yeah, picked up Black Panther because he is a black cat, but he is a little bit more tough and a little bit more standoffish than just like a normal cat. But he still has like the, if he fucks with you, we're chill, like we'll chill. He's never gonna be nice. He'll look out for you, but he's not gonna be necessarily nice, if that makes sense. For place, we're gonna go garage. It's canon that he always smells like a garage. Because he works in garages, and that's also, I'll skip the hobby, that's also his hobby, is working on cars. So that's like the one thing that he does. He lives in a trailer park and he's pretty poor. So working on cars was something he grew up doing. So it's just like the one thing that he's really good at, and he doesn't really have time for other hobbies. So he kind of just does his job as a hobby because he made his hobby his job because he's so good at it. And then for plant, I did an oak tree. Just like the branches, I don't know, something about the vibe. They have a lot of them here in Kansas. So I just felt like this was like, I don't know, his vibe. For food, I did Burger King. He's a boy on the go. He don't got time. He don't got time to be cooking food. On his way home, he grabbed Burger King. I was gonna put Mickey D's, but we don't have a Mickey D's in Baldwin. And I picked the most rancid picture I could find too, because I know that's what that shit. He's literally if your hands don't look like this when you're eating lunch, his hands look like that all the time when he's eating lunch. And then again, May birthstone is emerald, but I chose like the geode because he's unrefined. First season, I did fall, but he's sort of like fall, like on the cusp of winter, like where everything's kind of just dead. Like everything's on the floor, but it's not completely decayed yet. So there is still like the colors of everything, but it's like everything's about to die. Like where it's just bleak. Like it's not fun anymore. Like you're waiting for it to become winter. Like everything is just sort of bleak. And that's him. And then finally, character is Arvin from The Devil All the Time. I don't know if y'all even seen this movie, but I highly recommend it. I fucking love this movie. And it's crazy how much I love this movie. Arvin in The Devil All the Time is so Galaxy City. He shoots a priest. Beyonce! Spoiler alert. So, that's Bruckman. I don't know. Like, if you fuck with, he gonna mind his business. But if you fuck with somebody he fucks with, you're done. Like, you're done. And religious trauma, that too. Religious trauma, basically an orphan, you know. He's got all that. So he's got all the trauma and defense mechanisms of Arvin. So that's why. And then I did gray for the color. I feel like sometimes I forget to do the color, but whatever. Y'all see it. Claire is the ray of sunshine, girl. She is the pink dolphin. She's Brazilian. And she wants to study the Amazon rainforest as a marine biologist. And she loves pink dolphins. She really wants to study pink dolphins. And I picked one just chilling because it looked the most natural picture. Just down to earth. Just a chill guy. I hope they're not as bad as regular dolphin, like bottlenose dolphins and shit. I hope they're not that bad. And then for place, I did the Amazon. Specifically along the river, just like a lush, beautiful, like connecting with nature, like the rays of sun, the everything, the layers, the diversity. It's like, wow, eat that. For plants, she's a hibiscus. Just a tropical flower. Beautiful, bright colors. You know, love to see it. For hobbies, she's a reader. She loved to read. But she also loved a little picnic. So I did these little picnic baskets. She's very cottagecore aesthetic. She loves a little picnic aesthetic, reading with her little drinkity and her little tea sandwiches. She loves that shit. So bow. For food, I did those fruit cups that you get at the beach. Like eating fruit at the beach, that's her vibe. It was that or like fruit ice, like from those like stands, but I couldn't find a good picture of fruit ice. But you know, it's like, it's not like an icy, it's more like an ice cream, but it's like fruit ice. I don't know if I'm even, y'all know what I'm talking about. But yeah, just like beautiful, bright flavors, fresh citrus at the beach. That's the vibe she brings to the function. And then she was born in March, so I did aquamarine. But I also did the little refined little stones because she's a very neat, organized person. Very put together. For season, I did spring. She is the breath of fresh air. She is the bright, lush green, the everything. She's the shutdown. She's really the shutdown. And then finally for character, I did Luz from The Owl House. But just very whimsical, very excited, very curious, like, you know, wants to know everything about everything, even if it like means getting into trouble, but like not really. Like she wants to know, and if she gotta do a little something if she gotta, you know, sneak around a little bit, she gonna know. She's just, you know, a curious little baddie, and that's fine. Also, you know, so gotta put that. And then she's a beautiful bright green. So Leah is Claire's younger sister. She's the youngest of the group. Everybody's around the same age, in like their early 20s. But Leah is still in high school. She's 17. But she's sort of part of the group because her sister's part of the group, and her sister is so nice that she like wants to include her in everything. They're the only two siblings, so they grew up really close. So it's like, oh, if I'm going, I'll bring my sister. Like I'm bringing my sister. Like if my sister's not coming, I'm not coming. Like you have to include my sister because, you know, she wants her to be part of. You know, she wants her to get out. She wants her to meet people. So. They just kind of always grew up like joined at the hip, so like they're sort of a package deal. But it is, you know, a struggle for Leah because she's like, I still want to make my own friends, and like I feel like I'm not part of your friend group because I'm not, like we're not in the same stages of life, and they still see me as like the younger sister. Like everybody kind of treats her as like the youngest. For animal, I did raccoon. I picked raccoon because she's really cute, but she's also like a city rat. Like she is very like grunge skater. She loves a city. Like she loves being in like the dirty city, grimy fucking places. She's not necessarily dirty and grimy, but like, you know, you gonna find her in the underpass skating, and like that's fine. you might find a bitch in the trash. Like she found something cool in there. Like, okay. And you know, drinking a Dr. Pepper. just because that's the vibe. At a gas station, like, see, that's the same, like, places where it's like, but also kind of cunt. For a place, I did Rio. Again, from Brazil. Well, I guess their family is from Brazil. They weren't born in Brazil, they were born in America. But her mom is from Brazil. So, but again, she likes the city vibe, while Claire is more like in nature. She's in the middle of nowhere. Leia is in the city with all the people. She loves a bustle. She loves everything about it. For her plant, I did a monstera. It's a very tropical plant, and I just think it's her vibe. Like, it's pretty iconic, but like, can be sort of everywhere. Like, it can be indoor, it's outdoor, it's, you know, it's everything, it's everywhere, it's a vibe. It's just very like, for hobby, skating, obviously a huge part of her character, and her like sense of self is from skating, because like I said, she's sort of tagged along with Claire her whole life, who was very girly, very, you know, slay the house boots. When Leia really isn't, she's more like the skater, grungy type of vibe. Also, like, with skating being a male dominated world, it's like, you know, she found a lot of community in helping to promote women to skate. She actually canonically has like a skate group online where she gets women together in the area and skates, so that it's less intimidating, so that queer bitches and women, minorities, I guess, I don't know, but it is specifically women, but she, you know, it's a queer space. Because for food, street hot dog. I was gonna put chili dog, but I couldn't find a good picture, and then this picture came up, and I was like, oh, that's it. Just a hot dog on the side of the street. One of those bitches that you really would be like, oh, but you know it's gonna be fire. You know it's gonna be the best hot dog you've ever had in your life. So, just sort of street vendor vibe. Leah's crystal is the only one that isn't her birthstone. It's diamond, and I just didn't think that matched her vibe at all, so I was like, so instead I did Charlite. I think purple is her vibe, so that was a big thing, but also it promotes like self-growth and divine timing, which comes in later in her arc. But like, yeah, just like self-growth. I feel like a lot of her story is sort of finding herself and her place within the group, because, you know, she's been, again, stuck as like the youngest and like the kid sister of the group, and she just wants to like prove that she's their equal and like should be, you know, treated the same instead of being like babied all the time. So that, you know, was sort of the vibe that I think drew me to this particular stone. First season, I did summer, but again, she likes the hustle bustle, so I did like an amusement park carnival kind of vibe. Like, she loved a carnival food, like a street food, and I just think she would have a lot of fun on the rides. Like, you know, I just think it's, you know, a carnival is definitely what she loved to do. She loved that vibe. So she's a summer girly in that sense. And then for character, I knew I wanted it to be a character from Betty, but I wasn't sure which one. So I actually rewatched the first episode today and decided on Janae. At first I was thinking Kirk, but I don't think she would make the stupid ass decisions that Kirk makes. First of all, she doesn't smoke, so it wouldn't really make sense. But she does have like a happy stoner vibe where like everything's gonna work out. Like, you just have to trust the process. But I just don't think she's as careless and like, oh, whatever, as Kirk is. Like, I think Janae is very like, she's chill, but she's also like, we have to make sure, you know, we get the news out to everybody. We gotta, you know, complete the, like, if there's a task, like, we gotta get it. She's always gonna help somebody. She's like really kind and like cares a lot about other people. Like, her style, I think, is more similar to what Leia would wear. So I just think yeah, you know, a skater who wants to promote women in skating, right? That's her. And I did an orange because I think orange is just her favorite color. It's just her vibe. And then finally we have Z. Z is gender fluid, so they technically have 3 names. Their name changes depending on what they're feeling. So Z is when they're feeling like sort of in between. Z is when they use he, him. And then Xena is when they use she, her. So it's Xena, ZZ. For animal, I did a little fruit bat. Because bats are like considered spooky ooky, but they are just like at the end of the day like cutesy and they like a little fruit. And so does Z, right? Clock that. For place, I did a record store, but not like a hipster record store. Like we're not talking, what's it called? Like it's not giving Pier 1 Imports, like a real like hole in the wall record store, like where, you know, it's locally owned, it's, you know, it's just, you know. Then for plants, I did ivy, just like a darker, like edgy kind of plant, but like needs other things to grow because Z is the second oldest of a family of, I believe, 7. Don't quote me on that. They're very independent, but they need other people to function because they grew up their whole life like raising like fucking 5 children, right? They do need support of other people whether they want to admit that or not. For hobby, they don't have much time to do hobbies because again they're sort of like running the household, so they don't really have time for all that, but they like to mix like beats and stuff. They want to be a producer, but they probably never will be, or at least that's how they feel, that they'll never be able to like get in that because they're just so busy doing other things for other people that they're like, look, I gotta focus on this and I gotta work 10 freaking jobs so that I can support all these children that my own family is too busy to take care of. But they like to mix songs and they like to create mixtapes and they like to like blend songs together. They want to have their own studio, they want to produce, they want to like maybe even do like radio. This picture is technically a radio station, but so fuck with that. For food, I did festival. Their mom is Jamaican, and even though their mom isn't really being the best mom at the time, before she had 50,000 children, she was a great mom and she would make festival and, you know, homemade food for them. So like it's very nostalgia and like reminds them of the good times and like reminds them sort of that their mom is still their mom. You know, just because she's not doing the best job right now and is like overwhelmed and can't really take care of everybody the way that she took care of them, like she's still that person. Like that person is still inside her. So for crystal, we went back to birthstone. It was a sapphire. Just think it works. You know, that the dark blue is very their vibe. For season, it's fall, but like the Halloween sort of spooky ooky vibe. And I did this nice nostalgia like candy thing because again they have a lot of like a complex relationship with their childhood because they are really grateful for it and they have a lot of nostalgia, but they know that they, you know, don't really have that anymore. Because they take care of their siblings, they try really hard to give the best possible childhood that they can. So like it's important to them that they have like holidays like this and they have memories like this, because they remember that from their childhood. So they're like, I need to at least give them this. I know I can't give them everything that I had because things are different now, but I want you to at least have fond memories of holidays, especially Halloween because it's their favorite. The character I had a hard time with because I couldn't decide, because they're gender fluid, like I feel like they don't change personality. You know, the vibe does change with like the way that they look and the way that they present themselves is different, but I think Spider-Punk is like the best overall of like not giving a fuck, but like fake I don't give a fucker. you're punk and you're cool and sick as fuck. You're really stressed, so you're like really straightforward and like no bullshit. But you do give a fuck. Like you give a fuck probably too much, and that's why you're so burnt out. So I was stuck between him or Hennessy from the Dreamer trilogy. Wait. Because Hennessy is a train wreck, but she's also kind of a fake I don't give a fucker. Like she does fucking care. Like, you know, even though she pretends she doesn't and like tries to have the aura that she doesn't, like she give a fuck a little bit. Like you can't lie, you give a fuck. So that's definitely Z's vibe. It's like she has to pretend not to give a fuck because she gives a fuck so much. Right. And then for color, I did purple because she love a little purple. And that is it. That is all my little characters. So I'm really excited to write for them. They have a really interesting dynamic. I feel like a lot of the characters that I'm writing for, I've never written for this like type of character, this era of character before. So I'm really excited to do that. And just the way that they interact with the stuff that they're interacting with. Me being vague as fuck. Hopefully I did a good job of letting you guys get to know them a little bit without just being like straightforward and being like, well, this is their character type. I can't say for sure that you're gonna get to see these characters soon necessarily. But you know, I'll try to keep doing stuff like this where it's just like getting to know them outside of the book and just like sort of messing around and having fun, because it helps me develop the character, but it's also like just a fun thing to do and a fun thing to share. So yeah, hope y'all enjoyed and hope you learned a little bit, and I hope it was interesting at least a little. Now I'm gonna hunker down for the fucking storm and watch Mockingjay Part 2. I have a message for President Snow.